Ernest and Celestine are back. Hello everyone, this is Kevin T. Rodriguez, film critic of iCritic.net. Thank you so much for taking a few moments of your time to join me. Let's talk about Ernest and Celestine, a trip to Gibberitia. And if I mispronounce that, I apologize. I'm sure someone will let me know in the comment section below that I did that correctly or incorrectly, but c'est la vie, right? So, Ernest and Celestine, A Trip to Gibberitia is the sequel to a older French film, well, not that old, it's like 2000 something, called Ernest and Celestine, about a bear and a mouse. That movie was wildly acclaimed. It was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Animated Feature, and it's actually kind of slowly become one of my favorite films over the years. And one of the things that I really love about that movie is, first of all, it's sweet, it's innocent, it's something that you could put in front of any kid, whether it be girl, boy, young, slightly older, and they would love it. But it also had like a sly sense of humor for the adults that wasn't nasty. It was very subtle, it was clever. Honestly, Ernest and Celestine was Bluey before Bluey came around. And so I really, really adore that film. And now we have a sequel, although it comes from different directors, and at least in the American dub, there are different voice actors, but otherwise it has the same coloring book look to the film, and it's in many ways just as sweet as the first film. And the story revolves around Celestine waking Ernest up from his hibernation and accidentally breaking his violin that he plays to earn money for them. Now, no one in the area can actually fix a violin. It was specially made from his hometown, Gibberitia, which he has not been to in years, and he refuses to go there, even going so far as to threaten to cease playing the violin. He doesn't want to go so much. But Celestine, she has other ideas, and so she goes off on her own, and ultimately they wind up in Gibberitia, where we find out about Ernest's past, his parents, why he left, what made him a musician, and why his leaving Gibberitia actually led to a banning of music and kind of this little uprising where underground people play music for fun. I guess it's kind of like a new version of Footloose or The Little Mermaid 3, because that was a storyline for The Little Mermaid 3, believe it or not, like, you know, underground music and everything like that. So, like I said, sly sense of humor. I also really liked this joke in this new movie where Ernest goes to see his parents, who he does not realize has separated, and when he gets to the house is literally split in two, because that's the way it's done. You split up, you literally split the assets in half, and you break it just slightly apart, and so in a sense you're still living within close proximity of each other. It's a cute visual, and it's really, really funny, and of course the reason given is that's just the way it is. So, I don't know, folks. Here's the thing. Ernest and Celestine, A Trip to Gibberitia is just as charming and just as unique as the first film. Now, obviously the visual style and the characters kind of get a little bit of a repeat because it is a sequel. It's not, you know, we had the first one, that's where it was a breath of fresh air, but the sequel basically is a very good, competent sequel. That's not to suggest that it's average. I think this is actually on the same level as the first one, only that, yeah, they're continuing the story, and they're not going bigger, they're not going grander, they're not trying to do something uniquely different this time around. They saw what worked the first time, they're doing it again. It's a slightly different story, but otherwise, these people, these filmmakers understood that the core appeal to the first movie was the characters, the animation, the sly sense of humor, and the family friendliness. Now, the first movie, when it was submitted for a rating, got a PG rating for some scary moments. One of the most baffling decisions the MPAA, now the MPA, has ever made. G Kids has decided not to release this movie for a rating. They're just releasing it not rated, probably because they see the stupidity of the MPA for a movie like this. This is a movie that is 100% G-rated. If you have a kid who watches this and finds anything disturbing at all, I think it's because that kid is so young. They're probably crying about something else entirely. This is one of the rare family movies that kids and adults can enjoy on different levels and yet somehow on the same level. The Ernest Celestine movies are really treasures from France. The French have done the world a great service in making these movies. Now, I'm going to give Ernest Celestine a trip to Gibberitia. And again, I really hope I got that right. I mean, I'm sure people are going to be mocking me in the comments if I didn't, but I'm going to give it 4.5 stars. I mean, look, I can't give it the perfect 5. I mean, it's a simple movie, and if there is ever an issue with these movies, it's like maybe they're just, even at 80 minutes, a little too long. I think these are good specials, maybe more so than movies, but it's not like I dislike them. So, and it's not like there's really a whole lot to complain about. So 4.5 stars, that's pretty darn good. And remember, folks, these are kids' films. So when I give this 4.5 stars compared to, like, say, The Favorite or First Man, just kind of keep that in mind. We're looking at kids' films, and these are wonderful kids' films. But I would like to know, have you seen this? It is in limited release, and there is an English and a French version. I watched it in French, and I do recommend that, but if you bring kids and subtitles are a hard problem, the English dub is probably perfectly fine. The first one was anyway. I'd like to know what you think about it, though, so comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.